Hi everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to another day in my 2023 holiday card series. This is year 9. I need to send a huge thank you and a welcome to all of the new subscribers that I've gained over the past couple of weeks. Thank you to those of you who watched the beginner-friendly cards and loved it. I appreciate that too. I will definitely do more coming in the future. So if you're new here, say hi in the comments so I can say hi and welcome you to this cute little elfie community that we have going on here. And if you're still an existing subscriber and you're someone who watches all the time, a huge thank you to you. Okay, so let's talk holiday card kits. I have designed holiday card kits and I was getting ready to get them ready to go, and my Cameo has stopped working. Like, I've tried everything. I've been working with Silhouette now for like 3 or 4 days. I've done everything that they've asked me to do. I've replaced the Bluetooth adapter. Like, I have done everything and it will not connect to my computer. So it's basically dead. Like, it's working, it'll come on, but it won't connect no matter what I do. So unfortunately, I don't have the ability to grab a new Cameo right now. It looks like they're running between $2 and $220 for a Cameo 4. I did see the Cameo 5. I haven't heard anything about it, so I probably should do some research. But as of today, October the 4th, I just don't have a way to do these card kits. So, yeah, but if you're feeling generous, I did put one on my Amazon wish list, which is listed down below. No worries if you can't afford it. I completely appreciate you just watching. There's also cards on my Etsy shop. These cards from today will be in my Etsy shop, etc. So any way that you can support is appreciated. You don't have to support monetarily at all. So that is what's happening with the holiday card kits. If you're still interested in one, maybe I will be able to release them in November. In November, they will be, you would still get them in time for Christmas. The other thing, if you missed it, I posted a bonus video yesterday because I am now a design team member for Pokedoodles. And that's how all this happened. I was in the middle of cutting out snow globes and I just couldn't get it to cut anymore. So you will see more Pokedoodles art to come. I'm going to try to post one twice a month. So we'll see that coming soon. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, Stamp Anything is releasing a Misfits bundle this Friday. So it's all about the Misfit Island, so on Rudolph. If you're interested in that, be sure to check out their website. And I have that link down below. So yeah, so here's me sorting all the extra paper that's been on my desk forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back. So I did not like the first card I made. So yeah. Okay, here's the thing. You guys know I don't make a sample. I just have this idea in my head and I just sit down and I just play. Well, for this card, I wanted it to look like they were on a cookie sheet, but I wanted them to be a shaker card. So essentially, I wanted it to look like they were on, a pan, but they were a shaker card. So I got it in my head that I would use this craft paper and I would cut them out, their head against their belly and have them look like they're on, like they're cookies, like they're cookies that are shaker cards. And unfortunately, I just didn't love this first card. I'm sharing both with you. There's a second one. And so when that happens, what I normally do is I walk away. Like, I leave it and I'll walk away. I'll move on to something else because I get to the point where I'm aggravated and I'm like, I'm just going to throw it in the trash. But a lot of times bearing like soaked in ink or something, they can really be saved. So I just have to calm myself, walk away, take some breaths and come back. So in order to make these look like they're cookies, I went ahead and cut that thin strip between the neck and the body. I guess it is the neck. So it looks like they are just one cookie and they don't have a head and a separate body. And that, again, I thought this would be cute. So I wanted to cut it with a stitch rectangle die, but it was either too big or like this one too small. And I thought, well, I don't want it to, I don't want it to be too close. And then I ended up cutting it too close anyway. Story of my life. So I'm going to get this adhered to acetate before I cut this out. So I have a whole box of transparency film from when I taught, but I feel like acetate comes on basically everything these days. So I know a lot of people are like, don't save anything, you won't need it. Well, I think acetate, you keep it around. And if it's dirty or something, you can actually use alcohol on a paper towel to clean it. I actually end up doing that. Not only on this card, but on the next one too. For some reason, I managed to get glue everywhere, and that is really a bummer. So, yeah, it just happens though. It happens all the time. So initially I thought I would put a copper, I have a brown glitter paper behind it, and I was like, no, I don't like the look of that. But here, I'm off frame because my cutter is too big. But here you can see I cut it way too close, not giving any room to put down the foam adhesive that I need to pop this up in order to make it a shaker card. So if you were to do this card or take inspiration from this card, be sure to leave enough space on either side of them so you can put the foam. I ended up having to cut this foam down, and they're already thin strips. So yeah, I got these thin strip of foam adhesive on Amazon. Amazon comes here to my house pretty often. Pretty often. Like I drink soda water, carbonated water, every day. And I use the Strawberry Crush water enhancer, and that's the only place I can find it. And I also find my cheddar moon cheese there too. So yeah. Okay, so I brought in some sequins. I don't feel like I've worked with sequins in a hot minute. I had some brown sequins, and then I had this kind of bundle that had beads and sequins and blah, 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 blah. And then I had these sprinkles from Stamp Anything that actually has little kind of candies, like peppermint candies. It has little gingerbread and gingerbread houses. And I thought, okay, how could that not be any more perfect? And then I'm going to go ahead and take off the foam, and then I'm going to get this adhered to a craft backing. That's kind of how this went with that. Here you see me struggling with the foam. If you buy those, they're very, very sticky. So I suggest taking off the backer first, so you don't spill it everywhere. And I like to add a little bit of static remover, like what you would use for heat embossing, to kind of take away some of the static. So I put this down on a piece, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. And then here's my card panel. This is a piece of gingerbread paper from Doodlebug, and this is the dotted paper that I'm trying to use up. So I thought, I'll cut this silver paper, and that will make them look like they're on a baking sheet. And I was like, Misty, it didn't look right to me. So that pile that you see where I picked this up from, that's all squares and rectangles that are stitched. Like they've already been cut out. So I'm making it my mission. You guys know I'm trying to be as zero waste as possible. I'm making it my mission to use those up. So they are right there, and I'm trying to pull from them when I need to. So here is what the first card looked like. And again, it wasn't awful, but I didn't love it. So I'm going to retry it, and that's what we did today. So this is that silver paper that I'd cut out. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing like I did on the last card, but it's going to be with the silver. Now, I still don't know if this looks like they're cookies on a baking sheet, but I really like this card. I like this card. I think it's fun. So we're doing the same thing, putting on acetate. Then I'm going to put on foam tape, and then we're going to cut it out. This paper, by the way, I believe is pecan something from Stampin' Up. I placed the order with them week before last, because I was out of Poppy Parade, and Poppy Parade is my favorite red for this time of the year. If I'm going to do red and green, I want Poppy Parade. So I ordered that, and I ordered the pecan because I don't have any browns of this color. Like I have crumb cake, or I have like early espresso. There's no in between, and I wanted it in between. So I got this color, and then I got another brown. And then I bought like one of their in colors is a really light lilac. Yeah, I have the same color already from MFT. So yeah. So Stampin' Up! Is an MLN, and I'm trying not to support them, but at the end of the day, I feel like their paper is a really good value. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to bring in those sprinkles. Instead of sequins, I'm going to add some diamond drills. So if you are a diamond painter and you are interested in making shaker cards, save your leftovers. Save your leftovers because they make beautiful kind of beads in shaker cards. So I am using tweezers this time to remove the backer on the foam, and then I am adding in the sprinkles. Now, one thing I did differently that I didn't do on the other card is I divided it in the middle. So there is a piece of foam running between these two little gingerbread cookies, and so that was a little bit different than what I did the last time. So I'm adding in some green drills. I'm adding in some blue drills because there are blue peppermint candies in this. So I wanted to make sure that I brought in a little more of that blue, and that's what you're going to see when I make the background. So I'm going to do what I did the last time. I'm going to cut this up. All right, I'm going to bring in a piece of thin white paper. This is actually one of the card layers that I keep in my drawer. This is going to be for the frosting. So the frosting comes on it's all in one die. So it's the head with the drippy frosty, and then it is the kind of wavy frosty for the arms and the legs. I'm going to cut that out like 3 or 4 times so I can decorate these cookies with all of it. So when I'm dealing with die cuts like this, I like to use sticker. It makes it like a sticker. And it adheres very well. So here I'm just adding it. I went ahead and used like the bottom one, which is actually meant to be for the dress on its top of its head. And I really like that. I think that's stinking cute. But I also love the dripping frosting too. This one here, I think that is adorable. I can foresee myself getting a ton of uses out of these dies, and I cannot wait to see what else I can create. I added googly eyes to them, and it's so cute. Like, I have it right in front of me. I absolutely love it. I'm tempted to keep it, but I'll probably put it in the Etsy shop. In fact, I'll put it in the Etsy shop before this video goes live. So if you're interested, that's linked down below. So I've decided that I needed to go ahead and cut out their faces again, but this time using that same white paper because they need their mouth and their cheeks. So I initially started with an R20, but then I brought in an R22 to make it pop a little bit more. And I'm just putting on their cheeks. And then I thought I was going to make a brown lip, but I thought it looked, brown mouth. It looked weird. So I went ahead and just left it white. So the pink cheeks were colored with Copics, and then the mouth was left white. This paper is not a Copic friendly paper, but it took it. I wasn't blending. I was just adding color to add a little color to their cheeks. And while I had decided to put those green dots on, I decided against it and just put some of the white ones. Okay, so this is another piece. This is called Be Creative double-sided adhesive sheets. So I've cut this down to 5x7. I've cut a white piece of paper down to 5x7, and I've cut up some of my paper scraps. And this is the best way to use up your paper scraps, is to make them into backgrounds. And you literally just need to pick a pattern and go like this. So I'm doing green, red, blue, gingerbread, green, or trying to at least. Some of them didn't fit all the way across the paper, and that's why you see me cut this down in a couple of minutes. But you just put like regular tape runner on a piece of paper and do this. You don't need the double-sided tape. It's just easier for me to do it that way. And this makes, like I said, this makes a really fun background. You can make it look quilted, and it's a way to use up your scraps, and I absolutely love it. And you could do like 3, 4, or 5 of these and just have them available. So then I'm going to use my scissors and cut off the excess paper. And then I'm going to trim this down. So I end up trimming this down to 4.5 by 6.5. And then I'm going to cut a layer of that same brown down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So normally I do 1/8" kind of borders, but this time I went ahead and did 1/2" borders. I just felt like it looked better and it was a way for me to kind of get rid of those empty spots on my background. So I keep 5x7 and A2 size card blanks in a drawer. I get them off Amazon. You get 100 for like $15. I think it saves a lot. Like I don't have to always pick out paper, etc. So yeah, I really like it. Okay, I decided to pop this up with some Scotch adhesive, and I'm going to put this on, and doesn't it look so cute? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, so I want to put a sentiment on, so I pulled out my Queen and Company sentiments, and I didn't like any of them, and then I thought, oh, let me cut out some letters. So this alphabet is from My Favorite Things, and I wanted it to say Be Merry, so that's what I'm cutting out right now. And even though I tried it before I cut them out, I just felt like the letters were too big. This font is also weird because some of them are capital and some of them are lowercase, and the E and the M together, both being uppercase, just kind of bugged me a little bit. So I did away with that. This is another font from MFT. These are little stitched letters. So I cut out the letters to spell Christmas, and I have this little Merry sentiment from another card, probably the card that went up last Monday. But I kept, like I said, I've been keeping all of my little extras because I know that I can use them on the card. Now for the letters, I am using the bottom stitch line as a guide to put them on, and that was super helpful. I put this green on a backer sheet. I felt like you didn't need to see me do that for the 100th time, but yeah. So once I've done that, I'm going to bring in some more of those sprinkles. There are, like I said, gingerbread men and gingerbread houses in those. So I'm going to bring in one to put it on this. So you have to let me know in the comments which one do you like. When this was over and I turned off the camera, I should have kept it on. I went ahead and gussied up the first card. I was like, okay, Misty, what can we do to this card to make it look better? Like what can we do to this card to make it look like something that you feel proud of? And white gel pen. And I kind of wish I'd done brown gel pen, but once I started doing white, it was like, I'm just going to keep doing white. Here I'm just adding some jewels from my collection. So, yeah. Aren't they so fun? I think it's so fun. It is a 5x7 card, but it will go through the mail per usual. And then here it was before, and here is the after. So as you can see here, I added the Merry along the bottom, and then I used a white gel pen to go around both of the cookies and the outside of the rectangle. So yeah, that's it for me today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. Again, say hi if you're new. I really appreciate you joining me. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to follow me over on Instagram. I'm at TheJollyFatElf. I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, wherever you are, and I'll see you Friday for the last card in this one die 3-way. Okay, friends, bye for now.